We're focusing on your greenside shots, and you've told us that your main issue is strike related, and more specifically, you're tending to hit the ball out of the heel of the club. Now it's best to think of the solution to this as being a skill-based solution as opposed to it's a technical issue. And what we mean by that is, we don't have to rebuild our golf swing or even change a major aspect of it. We simply need to improve our skill at a certain part of the golf swing. And that is the distance between you and the club when it arrives at impact. So if we have a little closer look at that, setting up with the ball out of the middle of the face and then hitting it out of the heel means that the club has moved away from us from setup to impact. So the distance between us and the club has increased. The opposite would be hitting the toe. So if we set up out the middle and we hit the ball out of the toe of the club, we would have moved the club closer to us from setup to impact. Our ability to control this aspect of the swing and return the club to where it started is what's going to determine our ability to hit the middle of the face consistently. Now, of course, with your specific issue, you're tending to hit the heel. So we need to work away from that. We've got a tee set up just outside the golf ball, and that's going to be our feedback. We can see here that if we place the club in a position where we would be hitting the ball out of the heel, the toe of the club is going to hit that tee away. So when we're hitting shots, as much as our goal is to strike the ball well, it is also to leave the tee where it is. If we don't make contact with the tee, we definitely didn't hit the ball from the heel of the club. If we have a few practice swings before we hit the shots, we'll use the same length of swing that we've got with the shot we're facing. We want to set up as we would, but we're going to make a slow practice swing where we take the club back and bring it down towards impact and pause just before we hit the ball. And the first idea here is that you start out the middle of the club face, and when you bring the club down to the ball, you bring it down lined up with the toe of the club. And that means you've got the club closer to you from setup to impact, which is the complete opposite of hitting the heel where the club moves away from you. Of course, if you do this when you're actually hitting shots, you will be hitting the ball out of the toe of the club. But for the short term, that's not a bad mistake to make, because it shows the improvement we're after is happening. We've just exaggerated it, and we need to ease back off of it so that we can find the middle of the face. So again, take your setup, use the same swing length that you want for the shot, but pause with the ball lined up out of the toe of the club. Once you've felt this, you can feel the relationship between us and the club, the distance between the two, and you can see the toe of the club lined up with the ball. It's time to hit a shot. Remember that our intention is as much focusing on missing the tee as it is focusing on hitting the ball.